Hey guys, it's Stephanie here. So I have a few helpers today. This is my older son Trey. Say hello.
Hello.
And then right here I have my cute little guy. His name is Will. Look at those dimples. Anyway, so today, if you've been following along, I built a cutting garden just in my most recent videos. I put it all together. I have my flowers in, but I do have one last step that I need to do. I'm going to be putting cattle panel arbors in my pathway. I need 3 of them. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it and what it's going to look like. Supplies needed for this project are some cattle panels. This is a 4-foot wide by 16-foot long cattle panel, so it's pretty big. This costs $30, super cheap. The other thing you need are some T-posts. That is it, 4 for each panel. I'll show you how we're gonna do this. So right here, I have a pathway. It's about 4 feet wide, and I'm just gonna put 3 arbors, one right there, one right here, and then one at the end to go through. I think it's gonna be really pretty because I grew some cup and saucer vines. Chickens are squawking. Anyway, I grew some cup and saucer vines and they're gonna be beautiful. So I'm just gonna have 3 of those. Here they are. Isn't this so cute? They're little vines going up. I grew so many of these. I have probably 10 more, but I only actually need 3. So you can see they need to get on their arbors and their trellises. They're wanting to climb like crazy. So this variety is the Alba one. So it has cute little white bell shapes. So they kind of remind me of Canterbury bells, just a smaller version. And then this has white and purple bells. But they love the heat and they get huge so quickly, about 10 to 20 feet tall and wide, and they just take off like crazy. So I'm really excited to get these on those arbors. I'm gonna go ahead and have my son start pounding down some of those T-posts. We'll put the cattle panel inside and then I'll just hold it in place with some zip ties, super simple. And then I thought it would be fun to show you a little tour of my husband's vegetable garden. I know I talk a lot about flowers, but we also have an awesome garden, and my blackberries are starting to blossom and they are loaded. And I just wanted to give you 2 recommendations for blackberries. They're huge, they're sweet, and they produce an abundance of fruit. It's amazing. Okay, let's get started on those arbors. Okay, so now that I got those T-posts pounded in, I'm going to show you what you do here. It's super easy. We've only been doing this for about 30 minutes and we've already got two of the arbors finished, and so we're on the 3rd final one. Okay. All right. These T-posts are a little bit taller than the other ones, so it's a little bit trickier. So we'll go over here, just bend it down. There we go. Nice. Okay, I need your strength here. Yep, weightlifting's paying off. There we go. And just like that, you've got 3 arbors. Okay, so the last thing I have to do is just go ahead and get some zip ties and wrap them around here just to keep it in place. And that's it. So now I have 3 beautiful arbors. I cannot wait for my climbing vine to start going crazy over this. All right, I'm gonna get my climbing vines in the ground, and then I'm gonna show you that tour of the garden. I'm just gonna go ahead and plant 2 on each side. I've never grown these before. This is the first time, so if they go super crazy, I'll know next year just to plant 1. I guess we'll find out. And then, oh my gosh, you guys, I almost had a panic because before we started putting these T-posts in, I forgot that I had to make sure the drip line wasn't there. And sure enough, we posted it right on top of the drip line. So when I lifted this up, I thought for sure it was gonna have a massive hole. Thank heavens it didn't break it at all. It was just smashed down a little bit, but it's gonna be fine. So make sure you check your drip line and that you're not pounding into it. I am so relieved they're all in the ground now. I've been wanting to do this for about 2 weeks now, and they've needed to be in the ground for about 2 weeks. I just haven't had time. Let's go check out the garden. Right here is our corn. It's doing really good. My husband put it together with the squash this year because they require different nutrient levels and they're really great companion plants. We all know that squash takes over in a garden. So my husband put up an awesome cattle panel arbor right here. I thought it was a really fun creative idea like we have in the cutting garden. It's gonna be really fun to walk through this when there's squash dangling from each side. I cannot wait
to really harvest and enjoy those squash. Here is our strawberry patch. It's doing great. I've already picked a few. I'm picking a bunch to make ice cream with. At the end of this video, I'll show you what that looks like. It's so good, homemade ice cream. So we can see we've already harvested quite a bit, and they'll just keep on coming. Right here is our cherry tree. I love our cherry tree, and it's starting to turn red just a little bit, and we sprayed them in the perfect time. They were starting to turn just a little bit light green. That's the perfect time to get on them, and I don't think we have any worms, and we haven't seen any, and I don't think we will this year, so I can really enjoy them. And this is the blackberry bush I was talking about. It is absolutely loaded. Look at how many blossoms and buds there are. We didn't get to pruning it this year because we had so many other projects, and you can see clearly it's doing just fine, but ideally next year we'll prune it and trellis it, so because it's kind of a climber and it can take over.
So these blackberries, no joke, they get about this big. So I cannot wait to show you when they are in their prime ripe time to pick them. So you want to pick them when they're matte. This is the triple crown blackberry, and then the black satin one on each side. I gave them about 14 feet from one end to the next to grow because they get so big so fast. But I'm going to show you how juicy they are and how sweet they are when that time comes. So subscribe if you'd like to see that. It's worth seeing because it's amazing, and they just keep blooming and blossoming like all summer long at different times, and so we enjoy them for a very long period of time.
Right here are some of our raspberries. These are summer bearing. There are some fall bearing varieties, but we opted for the summer bearing. The bees like this one also, and it's quite loaded, and these will come for a good month or two or even longer. Love the raspberries. And right here is our peach tree. It got frostburn in that late spring freeze, and so we only have a few peaches, but I'm grateful for those few. And then right here is my golden delicious apple, my favorite apple, and it is just so loaded down. We've got to start thinning it. Look how full these apples are. They're just crazy loaded this year. And then we have a tree next to it also. They kind of take their turns, but right here we thinned it. My husband thinned it significantly, and this way our goal is to get apples every year instead of every other year. It just takes so much work out of them to produce that many blossoms if you don't thin them. And so if you thin them, you should get apples every single year, and they get a lot bigger this way and a lot more juicy and crunchier, and they're just overall a better apple. Great for apple pie. The best apple, I would say, for apple pie. So you can see here, this is where we thinned all of them. They're just all over the ground. This is just a small amount of them. I was so excited. I grew ranunculus this year. I kind of threw them in the ground. I put them in freezing temperatures that they aren't necessarily supposed to grow in, and I didn't think I'd get any this year, and look how beautiful they are. They came blooming, and that was one of the most exciting things I've experienced so far this year. But now that the heat is going to be setting in, they're kind of fizzle, but I'm enjoying them for a little bit now. And they're kind of with our potato plants that have self-sowed from last year, and I think they're a good combination. I really love ranunculus. I have quite a few buds that are still trying to come out. I don't know if they'll be able to make it with the heat, but look at this beautiful orange yellow one. It has a lot of character. I've really loved these ranunculus. They're great for cutting, and I've just been enjoying doing that. And then right here is some arugula, dill. These are a lot of the herbs, cilantro. Dill is a cool plant. It's great. It would be great to add to your cutting bouquets. Oh my gosh, right here, I ate some of that chard. It was so good, but I didn't realize there was like a spider web in there. Tomatoes, so many tomatoes. I make so much salsa. I do about 100 cans of salsa each year. My husband grew this one in the greenhouse, just barely brought it out, so he had tomatoes inside. And then this is a different way to arbor these tomatoes a little bit. We'll see the difference.
That is the end of this little mini vegetable garden tour. My husband does a phenomenal job. I cannot wait to just enjoy this bounty, especially in a few months when everything goes nuts. Can't wait to show you what those golden delicious apples look like. They're like no other apple. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you guys liked this video. Comment down below with any questions you might have. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see the updates on this vegetable garden, my cutting garden, all of my flowers. And we will talk to you later. Have a great day gardening. Bye.